Kyle Atkinson. It is in the Munro, and it is a pleasure to be with Erdinger. I've had some lovely Erdinger so far, and I'm going to have some more lovely Erdinger. I've been looking forward to it for about 3 hours. I've got with me Kieran, Molyneux, Shaun O'Donnell. I've got Kev Walsh. Listen, the sun is now shining in Liverpool. There's a million things going on at Bank Holiday weekend. There's Creamfields, Liverpool's first game of the season. There's the Matthew Street Festival. There's the Pier Head stuff. It's all going off. Kev Walsh, it's an amazing weekend. Why won't they just buy someone? Why won't they just buy a lad? If they buy a lad now, imagine what the city's like all weekend. Buy a lad.
I feel like they're just doing who was the other day talking about Jono with the ratings.
Oh, Ian Graham.
Ian Graham. I think because they got him on there, I reckon he got a separate WhatsApp group saying, not like the Anton Zech meme.
Yeah.
Saying, now say we're buying no one, so she won't got my tweets now. Whatever about tweets just goes all around the club. So
oh, there's a license, yeah.
They're having a lovely time, just winding Rob up.
Well, they're winding me up, is the point. I don't want to be wound up, Kev. I just think it all feels so good. People can see the manager, they're into it. On the whole, everyone seems into it with him. There's a general vibe of, well, all right, you know, you were at Ipswich last weekend. There's a general vibe of these can play. I think everyone feels like, not that the sky's the limit for them, but they can just have a really good season. And I'm just thinking, give them another couple of lads. Yeah. Another couple of lads, and then the sky might be the limit. But just in general, you'd fancy us to be in everything next April, May with another couple of bodies right now. So just buy someone.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. But listen, I'm not going straight into Molyneux because that's all I ever do about FSG. As everyone knows, I'm not into them at all. I think shite overall. So sorry if you're listening, boys. Stick on the WhatsApp group. but that's what I was saying there. They slave easy wins on the table. An easy win this summer is to just get a big sign over the line. Now, if that takes maybe having to overpay a little bit, I'm not suggesting we go up and lather 80 million on someone like Mark Gay.
Someone who doesn't sit, suit. Yeah.
It's got to be somebody who works for the team. But it's such an easy win to give the new manager just that little bit of fresh blood. Because also, if we think signing him away next week, and then we've got 9 months left of Salah, Sens and Van Dijk, it doesn't take many draws, even though not even losses, before people are going, what is going on here? And nothing towards next year. We're a bit of a doom week.
Yeah, I think this is almost what, I'm all about the feel good in so many ways, Shaun, and I'm all about the feel good.
Yeah. Hello.
And it's a massive part of the whole thing. And I genuinely feel like we're on the verge of loads and loads of feel good. The flip side is, I also feel like we're on a bit of a knife edge in that we're not that far away from a fair bit of feel bad.
Yeah.
All it needs is a couple of bad results. FSG to do something mad, which we've had in the recent past. You can think of a ton. They'll try to trademark something mad or something. You know what I mean? It doesn't take much to imagine, and then everyone's backs up. Yeah. But it doesn't take much to imagine the good. Yeah, it really doesn't take much to imagine the good off what we saw last weekend. I feel like it's just not that far away from everyone thinking this is great, this post-Jurgen.
Yeah, it's almost like the PR departments at Anfield should be banging the drum to get a signing. Like, forget about the transfer departments, you know what I mean? I think it's difficult because, like, I wasn't of the view of just signing someone for the sake of it, because I think it can be a bit of wasted money, a wasted time, and you just get into a situation where we have got a good squad already. However, the noise is that loud now, it's doing me head in that I want to just shut them people up, you know what I mean? I want to shut you both up on the job.
Yeah. Shut all up.
Yeah, but like, I definitely can see the good. So we speak about Endo, right, and you talk about him as, potentially a sign that didn't work. We had a feel-good period with Endo where it felt good, and actually he was actually really good for key parts of the season last year, and he was used for the right type of things. But I remember him coming on for the first game and everyone's buzzing in the crowd. You're going, here we go, well, let's see what he's like. We've got none of that now. So I feel like just for the feel-good factor, I am now pushed towards the point of just sign someone.
It shouldn't just be feel-good. I don't think it takes. I think what I want is, I like the lads. I back the lads. I think they're great. I just think they need supplementing, and this is the point really. Someone else who can do some of what they need. Pio is all I'm asking for really. Someone who can be a pair of hands. Who, I don't think it needs to be a world beater. I think at times Liverpool worry too much about trying to find a world beater, or worry too much about what happens if it goes badly wrong. I feel as though this is a squad which is in such good nick, it could just do with being supported a teeny little bit more.
I think we all feel like that. I think the club feel like that as well, though. They're not like they're turning around and saying this is the finished article. They're saying,
Slot said a few times, hasn't he?
Yeah, they're saying if the right person's available, and you're saying it's an easy fix. Seems it, but I don't know whether it is an easy fix, because like if you said to you now, what player would you go into 100 million at in the open midfield position? I don't know where I'd go and spend it. There's not a big list of players that you can just start throwing money at, so it has got to be the right signing. The Endo thing, that isn't territory, just sort of making a signing for the sake of it, if you know what I mean. And you don't want a situation in 12 months' time where that player's now getting looked and moved on because it's not the right fit. I just don't think it is that easy. It seems easy to go and get 2 players. When you say it like that, go and find 2 players to help these lads if you sign, but it's got to be the right player. You can't bring in players who are going to upset that position or upset the dressing room. It's got to be the right character. So, having said that, I do want to sign someone, by the way. I'm not sitting here for the FSG mouthpiece coming in. Like, I mean, I agree. Go and spend the money. The money's there. Money's got to be there.
I think with no one wants to just sign Erdinger. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. No one wants that. But Andy Gordon has been mooted all summer, and there's an amount of money that gets him out of Newcastle, or at least forces Newcastle to put a contract in front of him and say, sign that or you've got to go. And just make that move. Sometimes I feel like Liverpool just aren't balls to the wall.
Business though, isn't it? 60 million, 70 million quid now for Anthony Gordon. If you know he wants to come, that'd be 30 million next year.
Yeah, but
that's 40 million pounds.
To
them, I understand what you're saying. For us, it'd be a field goal factor, but for them, it's 40 million pounds in your pocket that you could just probably get them in January
40 million quid in terms of what Liverpool Football Club is worth, it's pennies. Like, I know, like, we're talking in terms of turnover, but just in terms of value increase from what FSG paid for us to what we're worth now, 40 million is actually...
Well, me and you disagreed on this show and in different things on bits and pieces. The one thing I've always thought and do believe, genuinely do believe, is that Liverpool put the money on the field. I genuinely do believe that. I don't know if you do or not, but I genuinely believe that Liverpool put the money on the field and that's the way it goes. Where I think there is a genuine sort of risk if this situation continues is it's quite hard for me to think to myself, well, you've just made everyone's tickets more expensive.
Yeah.
And you've not, and you bank 60 million over the course of the transfer window, is where people will understandably go, well, hang on a minute. And then if we get into a situation where things haven't gone that great, we get to next March and then try to put the tickets up again, which is the direction of travel. I hate it. It shouldn't be.
It's 100% in the post.
It's 100% in the post. We've all thought that it's in the post. It's been in the post for other clubs. And that's suddenly when you have got people going, hang on a minute, I'm not standing for this. You know, the flags disappeared last year, and the flags disappeared to make a point, which was we're not standing for this. And that's, you know, in the round, genuinely, Kev, that is what, I'm being really honest here, that is what worries me, because I think the previous manager, his biggest achievement was the doubters to believers thing, that everyone suddenly came with and went, no, we're all in for this. And that's sustained. And I think it's sustained the other side, and it's even got through the ticket price thing, the attempt to trademark Liverpool, all the jokes. It's actually got through. I think people are still broadly on board. But that can disappear, and I don't want it to, because we love all this. We love the city the way it is. I love people coming in from outside and having a great time. I love it all. I remember the bad old days, and I do not want to go back to them.
No, and listen, I 100% agree. I think you make a good point there about Jurgen Klopp. He made the doubters to believers thing, but he also very much separated church and state.
Yeah.
Didn't he? So no one thought of Jurgen Klopp and his players and John Henry. There was Jurgen Klopp and his players, and there was John Henry. And if he's there to sign the checks or whatever it is, whatever old-fashioned idiom you want to use, that's absolutely fine. But you've got to sign some of them checks, because you've now got Arnie Slot who's riding high on the Arnie Slot and his team thing, but he's riding high on Jurgen Klopp's version of that. And rightly so, by the way, no one should be...
That was Jurgen's job, was, and that's what he did brilliantly.
Exactly, and we should have that as a bonus for the new manager, and then give him another bonus to increase the likelihood that we win the league. Whereas if we go into the season as we are now, nobody can tell me that over the course of this summer we made it more likely that we win the league. If anything, we've made it dramatically less so, regardless of outgoings, just by letting the 3 contracts run down to the point that they are, so that you've no longer got a security aspect of, well, at least we've got the 3 best players signed up there. What you're looking at is the 3 best players, and also the goalies in the post as well, isn't it? You can see.
The contract situation, the only stumbling block can be the amount of money being requested and what amount of money being paid, or do you want to go? So you can figure that out now, and if you're not going to find that field goal factor in the player coming through the window, then go and get the deal done, like, get the contract sorted. But it does seem to me, though, that they've literally brushed that aside while the window's open, because we've got an X amount of days to do that between the window closing and the contract ending. Let's focus on time.
I was going to say then, if you're listen to you talk, if you're the club, and I feel like we've got this side, there's that side there, but if you're the club, you are saying, well, we tried to sign someone, and he told us he was going to sign, and then he just...
I don't accept that. I just don't accept it at all. It's all well and good saying that, right? But we employ people on massive money with mega, like, contacts in the game, and people have great experience. We employ those people to do a job. Their job is to get that signing over the line. So they've made us look a bit foolish with Zubimendi, in my opinion. I know Zubimendi's, ultimately, it was him and his wife who've made that decision, but it shouldn't have got as far as it did if we didn't have an ironclad guarantee that he was going to sign for Liverpool. Because that happened twice last year. We look like amateurs again, and there's another thing to it as well. for the last 4 seasons now, I'd say, somewhere around here, we keep getting to this stage of the window in here, and we're going to keep the powders like for next summer, and next summer, and next summer.
Yeah.
We must have £1 billion war chest.
I'm not interested in the powder.
Oh, listen, wet the powder.
Wet the powder. I'm not interested. No, for me, I think that the thing is this, whether or not, and I don't think, you know, I've done the conversation with Ian Graham and read his book. I want to be really clear. I don't think there's necessarily a player that Liverpool can buy almost full stop within reason who makes them 10% more likely to win the league and makes them 20% more likely to win the Champions League. We are dealing here in small increments, Shaun. I think it's really important. But my point is, first and foremost, you're then planning for the longer term, the medium term, in that whoever it is comes, gets bedded in for 6 months, is ready then for the next bit as well. Go on. And then the other part that you're doing is that you're also, again, the general feel-good. Virgil himself's gone. I think that they need to bring a couple of players in. Yeah. My point is that everyone else, when that happens, you've seen it so many times. I was sat around sort of chatting to Jan Bolby today for a thing for LFC TV, and Jan talked about when he was a player, and he talked about the idea of someone comes in, and he mentioned on the show, he mentions Glenn Hussein, and he said in Glenn Hussein's side, we were all like, yeah, great, because we feel like we're more likely to be successful. Yeah. You know, I think it's just that, the reason that we're talking about that we want, I think it's what the players want as well.
It is, and to get on your side with this now, like, if Zubimendi is the sign you want and the number 6 is the player you want, it doesn't happen. Then plan long, mid and long term, because there is going to be a point when Salah goes, and there might be a point where Diaz goes because of the talk, and there's Van Dijk is agent. There's players and positions where you can plan longer term, and you can identify a target and go and get them in now. But so it's unusual for Liverpool to have Diaz and Gordon available. It's unusual, but if you can go and do that and give them 6 months, the feel-good factor would be there. He's going to come eventually, in my opinion.
I agree,
I must admit that the thing that does worry me the most, you know, the feel-good thing is one thing for us as fans, but you're right, there is noise now from inside the club. Van Dijk said it, Slot said it himself a few times. That, on the other hand, gives you confidence that, well, surely he must be thinking about something. He wouldn't say that so publicly, so openly, if he didn't think in the background, they're speaking to players, something's got to come. But that is the thing that worries me, because I think if we don't sign anyone, and it's been publicly said by the manager and by your captain that we need to sign players, that's you're in trouble then.
It's Bank Holiday Monday as well, Shaun. I'm just thinking about the Anfield Wrap workflow, mate. I've already got someone from the video team having to come in on Monday and do all sorts. You know, you should see our Tuesday, it's a living hell. We're up to all sorts, it's madness. It is the Friday night, it is with Erdinger. We are in the magnificent Monroe, and it is Bank Holiday Monday on Monday. Whatever you're doing, either come to a boozer like this or drink a pint like this. We'll be back in a second.
And Erdinger, please.
Stop! Don't forget the best bit.
Welcome back. It is Friday night. We are in the Monroe. We are with Erdinger, and all of those things are good across the board. It is also the first game, and I'm looking forward to it in a number of different ways. It's always good to be back at Anfield. I'm looking forward to it for them. I think they almost need to get this one out the way, and I don't mean that as a sort of what I mean is I think they just want to go and play, go and impress, go and show what the football is about, and just find a way to assert themselves against Brentford. That's all.
Yeah, I think they also did be looking at. We had a start last week which was eminently winnable, but also had a lot of banana skin about it, didn't it? Like, there was potential to fall over last week with a 0-0 or whatever. To get through that, they're probably now looking going, well, 2 more games before the international break. United are no great shakes. They didn't look brilliant last week against Fulham, I think it was. So they think, okay, we win on Sunday, 6 out of 6. We're looking at next week and we're more than confident we can go there and get 9 out of 9. And I think they're probably thinking to themselves, get that start under your belt. And that might allay some of the fears that we've already had. Because if you get 9 out of 9, regardless of where you were thinking, okay, we need the signs or whatever, you're top of the league, or at least joint top, aren't you? So the players are looking at Sunday, I reckon, thinking, okay, first game of the season, probably all love playing in Anfield. Let's get out there, let's do the business. But then also, we've got next week on our mind as well already. Because a big game away from home against United, it's the type of thing that gets the fans' appetite wet, but also the players be exactly the same, won't they? Yeah. And we've had a few little ropey results there as well. So I feel like Sunday obviously is its own game, and if we make a mess of that, well, it doesn't really matter the following week, but it all feeds in, I think, to next week as well. And I think that's a really big game. If you get 9 out of 9 before that international break, you're in a really strong position.
I couldn't agree more. I think 9 points would just be go on bang, you go from there. But to get 9, you've got to win this weekend.
Yeah, you have. I'm looking forward to it myself, to be honest. I'm looking forward to getting back to Anfield, seeing the fellas who sit on the same row as me. Who I don't know the names. I've sat next to them for 15 years. Don't know what they do. But we see each other, we shake hands. I'm looking forward to all that.
Good summer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Happy new season. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to all that. But just the football as well, because I think what you seen in the second half last week is that this team can cut loose. This team, when it gets going, you know, with the new sort of the new style of play, because you know, it was obvious there was a new style of play last week, but it did still feel a bit like the old Liverpool. It felt like in the second half, defence, right, intensity, let's up it, let's get back to sort of what we know, and I feel like that worked for them. And I think that having that lived experience of actually going through a bit of trouble in the first half, I think you could argue, to then go, right, we can turn it on, is perfect for Anfield on Sunday. So yeah, can't wait.
It's the full weekend. You know, the full weekend to me feels great. There is a lot to be said for the city. You know, over any summer weekend when the sun is actually shining, and a bank holiday weekend, you know, I think it gets everyone going, gets everyone feeling ready for it. Just seeing people come into the hotels today was great. I thought Kieran walking through the city, it was the business. I think Anfield, I don't think the atmosphere is going to be outrageous on Sunday. I think this is an important point. I almost don't want it to be. I think it's got to be there when you need it. Yeah. I just think Sunday, I think everyone's going to go in with a certain mindset of, let's really enjoy this.
Yeah, well, it's good feeling, isn't it, going back to Anfield after the summer, especially obviously. I'm excited about the new manager. I feel good. I mean, obviously, it didn't feel good at half time.
There was a few worries.
He said that he was messaging me going, "We're going to be fine."
Everyone needs an emotional support.
He was backing the boys when I was carrying the bag.
Yeah, a win's important. I think the first 10 games are massive. Obviously, you're reaching 3 out of 3. I think these first 10 games
I agree.
Are huge for us. And looking at the teams playing stuff, we can be in a decent position. You say you've got to win on a Sunday first. I think we'll be all right. I think the second half that we've seen at the weekend is slots Liverpool. I think there's a key comment from the manager at the weekend was about, you mentioned Jürgen 8 in the 12:30s and how the players played like they were 8 in the 12:30s. And you think about that, there was almost a bit of an excuse for the 12:30 kick-off for Liverpool in recent years. The manager made such a big thing out of it. If we dropped points at a 12:30, it was a scheduling issue. If we didn't turn up at a 12:30, it was a fitness thing and a tiredness thing. He just sort of stamped that out at half-time. Like, look, that's gone. And I think that second half that we've seen is probably the team that we're going to see. And I feel that.
So you go second half teams, no changes, just go with that.
Yeah, I mean in terms of the way, the attitude and the way we played.
Would you go with the second half team?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
Yeah, I think it will be the team that starts the second half. Do you think that's
fair? Yeah, I think it is. I think it will as well, because in his press conference today he said that Qantas suffered a bit of a knock in training this week. So I think it will be that team, and I think it should be. You know, they've earned the right, haven't they? You know, Jota keeps talking about how he loves playing through the middle, and how he didn't really play through the middle much with the old manager and stuff. So you know, you've got your chance now. Go and play, run the games, and score the goals. I think that's a big thing for us, and I'm like Kev, I keep thinking about the United game and Jota and just what could
we owe them one as well.
Yeah.
We owe them one.
If we get these 3 on the board, it's just like magical.
On Jota, are you excited by him? Because I'm really excited by him.
Really excited by him.
Give it anything for him to stay.
Yeah.
Don't mention the I words. We don't talk about them.
Whenever
he's on his Peloton.
Whenever I worry about Liverpool or about transfers or about big, I just think about Jota, and it calms me down, because I feel like going to Old Trafford in particular, you've got him in the team, you've got a chance, because the big thing about big away games, I know we're going forward week here, is that if you score a goal, it changes it massively. So if we know he can score from nothing, he can be out the game, not playing well, Liverpool aren't playing well, all of a sudden get a chance, he heads it in, you go bang, it's turn. So that's why you're right, we just need to keep him fit.
I want to see Jota start. I think it will be. I'm not going to die at the altar of he should definitely play the same 11 that starts the second half against Ipswich. If he wants to look at something else at this point, if he wants to have a look maybe at Elliott, if he wants to have a look at Jones, I think both had a good pre-season and were involved, that's fine. But I do expect it to be the same. But I very much am very committed to Jota and Salah in particular at this point in time.
Yeah, 100% staying danger man, aren't they? I think I'm looking forward to Sunday in terms of when I was watching it last week. I thought this style of play really suits an away game where you just take all the control and all the sting out of them. They had a couple of chances, but nothing guilt-edged at all. But by the time it come through to the second half, it looked like, okay, we tired it out a bit. We figured out where the gaps come from. So like the sent ball through for the first goal, unbelievable, isn't it? Yeah. And he's probably been like the sort of picking and probing out and thinking, okay, well look at that there, look at that there, look at that there. And away from home, I feel like that really works. But I'm not so sure against a lower team at Anfield that's going to work too well, because away from home, the other team generally sits a little bit higher than he naturally has to because they're own fans. At Anfield, they sit even deeper, and they sit in them 2 banks of 5. So it'll be interesting to see if he's got, I don't think it'll be massively different, but if he's just got a slightly different plan to get them moving across the pitch and vertically on the pitch, because if you're just going for the same type of stuff and teams sit in, you're probably going to struggle to break it down. And there's no, if I've thought of that, there's no way Schloss hasn't. So I'm interested.
Or Thomas Frank, for that matter.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I'm interested to see what his solutions are to them particular problems, because as a Liverpool manager, they're probably going to be the things that he lives and dies by.
Well, they're the most important games. It's funny to think this, but last season against the bottom 10, home and away, City win 19, Arsenal win 18, and we win 17. And you can, the big games are the big games. To your point, you score first from a chance. Well, suddenly you're 1-0 up and then you can defend it. It's a little bit different. I think the big games are the big games. You meet and drink, your job, if Arnold Slot gets 60 points from the bottom 10, home and away, for instance, if he gets 60 points, then he's almost certainly going to achieve whatever his goals are over the course of the season, whether it's first, second or third. Liverpool are going to be playing Champions League football and they're going to be challenging for the title. These are the games, aren't they? It sounds like it shouldn't be, but they really are.
Well, these are the games that make the big games big, because if you don't get the points here, the big games are irrelevant to us, really, aren't they? We're swimming against the tide. So he'll know all of this, and he's very
won a league, for God's sake.
He's very confident in his style, because he's from day one he's been committed to it will be controlled and it will be slightly different. And he's been very public about that. He's not trying to hide anything. So that's what I mean when I say I'm excited to watch it, because I just don't feel like it'll be exactly the same style of football as we've seen last week. So it'll be interesting to see where that comes from. And as you say, if you don't beat these teams, you're talking, as you say, there's 17, 18 or 19 wins against these, if you want to be even in the conversation for the league. So that means you haven't got much room to slip up there. You can't do it so early in the season.
These are teams where we can see the first against a lot.
Yeah, every week it felt like, didn't it?
We looked the other week on the show, there was 18 times in the first 10 minutes, and they weren't against all the great sides, you know what I mean? So it's massive for us. I'm confident, like, I do feel
I think what you're seeing from last week, by the way, I thought the selection was quite interesting, because he clearly just backing the big lads, isn't he? He's going, right, these are me big players, because the other thing he said quite a lot, and it's reading into the stuff that he says, is that the lads have only been back 3 weeks, these have only been back 3 weeks, and this is what we've done. Watch us improve as the longer they have with me on the training pitch and stuff. So I think it will be the second half team.
And hopefully the full second half performance. It's been a pleasure. Erdinger in the Munro with Kieran, with Shaun, with Kev. We'll see you later on. Everyone's looking forward to a big weekend.